Well, from markets to weather, it's time now for our weekly weather forecast with Nebraska Extension Ag Climatologist and Market Journal Chief Meteorologist Eric Hunt. We've finally gotten a little bit of break from the heat this week. How are things shaping up for the week ahead?
Thanks, Alice. This has indeed been a welcome break from the heat. And thankfully, will continue for a couple more days as temperatures will remain well below average across most of the central United States through Sunday into Monday. We will also have a chance of showers and thunderstorms across the state on Sunday. And then again later on Monday, we'll have a ridge across the southern United States and some troughing into the west. That's going to help kick off some showers and thunderstorms Monday afternoon and evenings in the high plains region. That'll be moving toward the east. So a good portion of the state actually can expect to pick up maybe half inch to maybe an inch of precipitation as we move into Monday night into Tuesday. This will be very welcome news across portions of southern Nebraska, which have really been very dry here in the last month or so. As we move later in the week, that ridge will be building toward the north. That will bring the heat back up into portions of the state, particularly across eastern Nebraska, where we will likely see highs getting well back in the 80s, maybe even the lower 90s across portions of southeastern Nebraska. And with high humidity levels, the heat index will probably be back over 100 degrees in places like Beatrice, Nebraska, and Falls City by the end of the week, or by the end of Wednesday, sorry. As we move toward Friday, we will see troughing move into the high plains region, at least according to the European model. And there's also going to be a chance for showers and thunderstorms to develop across central Nebraska and move their way east Thursday night into Friday, if the solution actually is correct. This solution is not in the GFS. It's keeping ridging kind of in place for the central United States through the end of the week. So it's possible this may not happen at all. But if it does, there's a good chance that eastern Nebraska may actually pick up some very beneficial rainfall by the end of this week. And if that does come to fruition, we'll also see a decent cold front moving in, which will bring our temperatures back in the 70s and lower 80s to finish out the week, which will also be very welcome news. But later in the month, though, the PNA, which is the Pacific North American Oscillation, is showing very strongly negative values, which indicate strong troughing off the west coast, which tends to mean stronger ridging east of the Rocky Mountains. And again, the CPC is showing relatively warm temperatures favored for the 15th or 21st. I'm expecting temperatures to be generally above average across the state, probably from the 20th through most of the rest of the month, if this actually verifies. The good news, though, is there's definitely going to be some chances of monsoonal moisture getting into the high plains, so that would actually mean some chances for additional precipitation across western Nebraska. The drought monitor author, I did ask for a lot of degradation this week and a lot of inclusion of abnormal dryness and some expansion of drought and severe drought across portions of Panhandle. That was thankfully granted, given the very dry conditions and very hot conditions the last 30 to 45 days across a lot of the state. Speaking of heat, the 23rd to the 5th of August had feature the highest maximum temperature average on record in the Panhandle Climate Division, generally relatively warm everywhere else in the state as well. And again, veg dry is showing very stressed rangeland conditions across a lot of the Panhandle High Plains region, some stress to crops, and even starting to show some stress on crops across portions of southeastern Nebraska as well. Generally very good conditions across the I-states, though. Quick dry also shows some of this recent dryness in a couple of spots right around Holders and south of Geneva. Might be of interest to take a look at, see how much stress there actually is on rain-fed crops in those areas. Soil moisture has dropped precipitously across most of the state in the last 30 to 45 days. Not doing a particularly good job in portions of Panhandle, but I think this is relatively directionally correct everywhere else in the state. We did pick up some nice precipitation, though, Wednesday night and Thursday morning across western Nebraska, and some welcome rain across portions of eastern Nebraska as well. Stress-free days running right around average across most of eastern and central Nebraska, maybe a little bit below here, well above western Nebraska. Soil temperatures mostly in the mid-70s to low 80s, and this is our temperature and precipitation roundup for the last week. Thanks, and back to you, Alex.